Hey YouTube, this is Meany with Vance Tactical. Today we're going to be talking about step 2 in the Prepper's Checklist. The Prepper's Checklist, remember, is available exclusively on Patreon. And this is part 2 of about a 20-part series where I'm going to go through everything on the checklist that I've made over the last 10 years and kind of go over how I've dealt with preparedness. So, part 2 is food. This is still tier 1. This is still 30 to 60 days worth of food. And I'm going to talk about how I managed to do that. So, I'm going to read this verbatim because it kind of gives you a clue for what my goal was. So you need only stock the foods you regularly eat in your pantry. As you buy new cans, place them in the back and bring the older ones forward to the front. Most canned goods are safe to eat for a year or more, so having a 30 to 60 day rotation should be manageable for any serious prepper. I use 2,000 calories per day per person to kind of calculate how much food I have stored. Some people eat more than that, some people eat less than that. I've heard other people argue for different things, but I think a sedentary person, 2,000 is a good average, because I probably burn a little more than that on an average day, but my wife probably burns a little less. So it's a good average to go by. So this is what I do, right? I've got things like canned chicken. It's great for making chicken chili. It's great for mixing in with maybe some box meals, right? Things like that. My wife likes making chicken spaghetti. It's actually surprisingly good. So we got some spaghetti up here. But the idea is, as I get a new can of chicken, I put it in the back of the pantry and I slide my stack forward. All right, so I personally keep about 12 of everything in the pantry. I've got 12 Spam, I've got 12 chili usually. Right now I've got 10, 12 spinach, 12 asparagus, and so on. So the idea is, when I'm making a grocery list, like right now, if you can see this, it's kind of pushed back. I'm missing 3 cans of cut green beans. So I would write, when I go to the grocery store, I'd write 3 cans cut green beans. I'm missing 1 French style green beans, so I'd write that down. I'm missing 2 chili. We've been eating a lot of Alfredo. I'm missing 2 Alfredo sauces up here, and so on. So it actually helps make life easier, right? I may go a little while without eating asparagus, and then you get on an asparagus kick and you eat a bunch of asparagus, but it lasts for a couple of years usually, especially right now because stuff's coming off the shelf so quick that it's actually got a pretty recent or pretty decent, distant expiration date. I keep some potatoes. This is my row of greens here. I've got some corn, got some canned potatoes, some mushrooms. I know you can't see them down here, but we got different soups and a whole thing of beans at the bottom. Up at the top is more of my dried goods. We've got rice kept in plastic. I've heard that's a bad idea because mice, when they get hungry enough, they can chew through plastic. But I haven't seen glass ones this size for a decent price, so I'm stuck with plastic. We got some beans. Keep some spaghetti, fettuccine, a bunch of different hamburger helpers. These don't last as long, but they are pretty good for 6 months to a year. All right, so this is my plan, and the way I calculate it, right? So I look at my can of spinach. I know I have 12 of them. So it says calories per container, 70. So I would do 70 times 12 and write that number down on a piece of paper, and I'd go to the next one. Cut green beans, okay. 3.5 servings, 20 calories per serving. So I'd do 3.5 times 20 and then times 12. And I would do that for everything in my pantry and make sure I have at least, 30 times 2,000 per person. It's really not hard to do, and people don't open my pantry and go, "Oh, you're a prepper." They go, "Oh, you're OCD." And then I explain my system. I don't necessarily say why I do this, but when people see my pantry, I tell them my system, and they're like, that seems like a lot of extra work. And I'm like, no, really, it's about 5-10 minutes max when I get back from the grocery store to rotate everything, and it saves me so much time in thinking going to the grocery store and when I'm picking out food that I want to eat. Because it's real quick to decide what I want and grab it and then write down what I need at the grocery store. Since we've gone to this system a few years ago, me and my wife, I've wasted so much less food. About once every 6 months, sometimes once a year, I will go through and I'll grab these nearest ones and I'll go, okay, when does it expire? All right, so this one is like, November of 21, because I don't eat Spam that much. So that would be something that I want to grab, pull off and set on the counter or something like, hey, I need to eat this in the next month or so. But we've wasted literally no canned or dried goods for the last 3 years going to this system. So you may think like, oh my gosh, I can't eat all that before it goes bad, but you can when you're organized like this. So if you have any questions about this system, because this is over 30 days worth of food for 2 people. Me and my wife, this is closer to 60 plus days worth of food easily. So I would start here. Fill your pantry. Before you start buying all the expensive freeze-dried food, you start buying all the MREs, start here and fill your pantry. When you filled your pantry, then move on to step 3. Step 3 is shelter. That'll be the next video. It'll be the last video of the series for YouTube. Everything after that will be exclusively for Patreon. So if you like the video, please comment, like, share, and if you have any critiques or questions, please put them in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. See you around YouTube. Thanks for watching.